Hi everyone, it's Sandy and today I will be sharing my August book haul and wrap up. I didn't buy any books in August, but I did win a giveaway which was hosted by one of my friends, Lainey from Bibliosaurus Rex. Her channel is great. I think she's hilarious, and if you're not subscribed to her, definitely check her out. I will leave a link to her channel in the description box below. In her giveaway, she was giving away 2 books. The first book in that giveaway was The Novice by Taran Matharu. This is the first book in the Summoner series, and the second book in the giveaway is The Inquisition, which is the second book in the Summoner series. I've heard really great things about the series and I can't wait to read them. I've watched quite a few reviews of these books on BookTube, and in all of the reviews that I've watched, I've heard really great things about these books. Even though I've seen so many reviews, I can't seem to remember what this book is about, but from the synopsis, it follows our main character Fletcher, who has the rare ability to summon demons. So that was my very small book haul. Now I'm going to get into the wrap-up portion of the video. I'm actually filming this wrap-up pretty early. At the moment that I'm filming, it is currently August 16th, and if you're wondering why I'm filming so early, if you didn't already know, I will actually be studying abroad in Vietnam this upcoming fall semester, so I'm pre-filming a bunch of videos. I'm going to be leaving 4 days from now, and I'm pretty sure I won't get that much reading done towards the end of August because I will be adjusting to living in Vietnam and with my new classes. This is going to be my last formal sit-down wrap-up video that you'll be seeing in a few months. While in Vietnam, I think I'm going to try doing vlog-style wrap-ups. I don't know if that will actually happen. I don't want to make any promises, but I'm going to try. During the summer, there were quite a few readathons going on, and I've been really enjoying watching all the reading vlogs, so hopefully I'm able to film those while I'm in Vietnam, and hopefully they're interesting enough for you guys to watch. Currently, I have already finished 4 books in the month of August, and the first book that I read is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This is a mystery book that follows 10 people who are invited to an island and slowly being killed off one by one. Agatha Christie is a well-known mystery writer, and I haven't read any of her books before, so I was really excited going into this one. I wasn't necessarily disappointed with this book, but I expected better because of how well known Agatha Christie is for her writing. I just found the writing and the story to not be as compelling as I hoped, but I still really enjoyed the whole mystery aspect. I really love the whole atmosphere and how it takes place on an island. No one can get off this island and they're all suspicious of one another. Since this story follows 10 different characters, we are pretty much immediately introduced to them at the very beginning of the book, and it made it very difficult to follow since there are so many characters. I also really like how these characters aren't the greatest people. They all have their flaws and they've all done something not so great in their past. I do like how things were revealed at the end, but overall I thought the story wasn't like the best. I didn't love the story, I didn't hate it either, but I thought it was better than okay, so that is why I rated this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I finished is Under Rose-Tainted Skies by Louise Gornall. This is an own voices book with mental health representation, and it follows our main character Nora, who has agoraphobia, OCD, and anxiety. I've heard really great things about this book, and I haven't read many mental health novels, and I definitely want to read more, so that is one of the main reasons why I picked this book up. Since this is an own voices novel, you can definitely feel and see how it was so authentic and raw. I felt like I learned so much from this book, especially since we are reading from Nora's point of view and we are able to read her thought processes. I also want to give a trigger warning for this book for self-harm. Also, there is romance in this book, and while I wasn't very invested in the romance or had any strong feelings about it, I do like the love interest Luke as an individual. I really like that he didn't cure Nora and that he was very supportive and encouraging, and I really love seeing that. Overall, I rated this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The third book that I finished in August is A Million Worlds With You by Claudia Gray. This is the third and final book in the Firebird trilogy. The first book in this trilogy is called 1,000 Pieces of You, and it follows our main character Marguerite, who has this Firebird necklace that allows her to travel to different parallel universes, and that was basically my favorite thing of the whole trilogy. I loved seeing the different parallel universes, and I think we got to see quite a lot of the different universes in this book especially. I did listen to this book as an audiobook. I think I waited too long to pick this book up, that when I finally did, I was no longer invested in the characters or the story. There are a lot of life and death situations that I enjoyed reading about because it added a lot of intensity to the story. I mainly picked this book up because it was available on Overdrive, so I decided, like, why not? I might as well finish this trilogy. I did like the story, but I just didn't care as much, so that is why I ended up rating this book a 3 out of 5 stars. Honestly, I feel like this is a series that you should binge read because I think you would have a much more enjoyable experience. And the very last book that I finished in August is a book that I have been wanting to read forever, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I don't really know how to describe this book, but it basically follows a circus that goes to different locations unannounced. It stays there for a few nights before moving on. So many people love this book, so I did kind of go into this book with high expectations, and I did really like the story, but I don't love it as much as other people do. One of my favorite things about this book would definitely be the writing. I think the writing is so beautiful and so enchanting, and the descriptions of the circus is just everything. The descriptions of the circus is so vivid, and it makes me wish it was real and makes me want to visit it so bad. And I just love the whole atmosphere of the circus. I love the whole concept of the circus moving to different locations unannounced and that it only opens at night. I think the pacing of the story is pretty slow. It took me almost 2 weeks to get through this book. This book does have quite a handful of different point of views, and I wasn't a big fan of all the perspectives. The perspectives would switch around quite a lot, and I would have preferred if we only stuck to like 2 or 3 people. So there's also some sort of challenge going on that we find out at the beginning of the book, but we aren't given a lot of details about this challenge. The characters don't know much about what this challenge is, and I didn't like not knowing. I also didn't care that much about the 2 main characters, Celia and Marcus. However, I do really like the dynamic between Bailey and the twins, Poppet and Widget. I really enjoyed reading about them and seeing the twins introduce Bailey to the circus, and I thought their friendship was really cute. Overall, I really enjoyed this book, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So those are all the books that I read in the month of August. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye!